What's goody, people? It is me, DSP, your friendly neighborhood media personality. You're now tapped into another installment, a special installment of the rotation. Today, I'm going to do a album review, album reviews, and an artist spotlight on the one and only Currency. I'm going to discuss Currency a little bit in the upcoming episode I got called What Happened to Young Money. I'm not going to get into great detail, but I do mention him being part of Squad Up, which was Lil Wayne's clique before Young Money. I think it comprised of him, Lil Wayne, and Kid. I believe there was a fourth member. I just can't remember who that is right now off the top of my head. But Currency's been doing his thing for a while. I tapped into Currency a little bit after Squad Up dissolved. I would have to say it would be like 2017, 2018 when I tapped back in with Currency around the pandemic. Well, little before the pandemic, I tapped into Currency, and I loved the music back then all the way up until now. And granted, when I discuss Currency with other people, they don't really rock with Currency like that. They usually say he's whack or they don't really rock with his music. And I sit back and be like, is there something wrong with me? How come I hear some shit and I go crazy when I hear Currency? Currency is definitely one of my favorite MCs out of New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So huge shout out to Currency. He's been doing his thing for a while. He's got a couple albums with Alchemist. He got a combo album with Freddie Gibbs. That's fire. I believe it's called Fetty. Definitely check that out. Every time he works with Wiz Khalifa, it's a vibe. He got joints with Harry Fraud. He got an album with DJ Fresh. He's been working these past few years. He got a joint that I like with Ski Beats. Project with Ski Beats. That's crazy. You got to check out the playlist that I got of Currency. It'll be in the description box. I know I've said that before. I got to get that link up there on a previous video that I said it'll be on before, but don't worry about it. I'll get it up there for you. But Currency has been killing these past few months. The past 2.5 months, he's dropped 3 projects. 1 EP, 2 albums. The first 2 albums, it was a mixed bag of producers. Third album was all produced by, I believe, Kino Beats. Shout out to all the producers that were involved working with Currency and bringing this magical moment in hip-hop together. First album was 730. Dropped that on August 30th. And July was a crazy month for hip-hop this year. We got the Clips album. We got the Freddie Gibbs album. We got Don't Tap the Glass, I believe. What else did we get? We had Larry June drop. It was a lot of people that dropped in July. And then Currency dropped it last day of the month. And it was a vibe. Some of my favorite joints on there are When Kush Clouds Rain, 355 Spider, which is produced by Harry Fraud. And remember, I mentioned they worked together before. And whenever they work together, Currency and Harry Fraud, they always provide fire. Like, you could always rely on quality music when Harry Fraud and Currency work together. Get in Line featuring Jazzy Shavers. That's probably the first time I heard Currency on the track where he did a hip hop and R&B fusion. You know what I'm saying? And it came out fire. I like the joint. That's why I tell them I'ma get in line or get the fire. I like the joint. I got it on the Currency playlist. Make sure to check that out. I gotta keep plugging that. Make sure to check that out. That'll be available in the description box. It's for Spotify. I apologize to all my Apple users out there. It's for Spotify. So if you got Spotify, tap into that playlist. And the other joint on there is Electric Eyes. But definitely check out 730 by Currency because it's fire. It's like I said, it's a mixed bag of producers on there, and it's a really dope album. Then he came back 1 month later with another project with a mixed bag of producers. Dropped it on August 30th. August, another great month for hip hop. Another month where a lot of great albums came out. I believe Raekwon came out. I believe Ghostface dropped. I believe Who else came out? Shay Noir dropped her album. It was a lot of people that released music in the summer period that were just killing, and he found a way to sneak in another project, and this is album 2. This is not an EP. This is a full-length project that he dropped. And some of my favorite joints on there are Combination, Time Keeps Slipping, Blog Air featuring Wiz Khalifa. I mentioned when him and Wiz Khalifa are working together, they're going to give you some quality shit. I don't know if they had dropped an album together. If they did, check that out. I hope they drop something more current. I want them to get with Alchemist. Alchemist, give us a Wiz Khalifa Currency project. That would go crazy. Trust me. Copperfield, cool. Harry Fraud on the beat. A lot of music out there. Harry Fraud on the beat. That's probably one of my all-time favorite Currency joints. And it's a short joint. Real short. Like there's a beat switch on. I believe he spits a quick verse on one beat, which is crazy to me. And then another beat comes on, which is also crazy. And then he spits on that beat for a while too. So Copperfield Coupe, Harry Fraud, salute.
I'm talking. In the middle of a twister, my windproof lighter flicker, hand on the whistle, man on the fuck that.
And Just Landed is another joint on 830. That's another vibe. And then he comes back 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks later, to drop an EP called 915.
Smell your feet in here, but I'm chilling in this bitch. I bought another car again. Ordered a Ferrari, I'll pick it up tomorrow. Might relax and buy another Benz. Shit like
3 projects in 2.5 months. That's work ethic, ain't it not? That's what you want from an artist. You know what I'm saying? And being an avid listener of Currency, and I know there are other avid listeners out there of Currency, because y'all gonna tap into this video. Because one thing I know about Currency and his cult following, they support that man, and they always want to check out what other people feel about him. So shout out to y'all. But his work ethic is undeniable right now. There's another MC right now that's doing his thing. I might have to come back and do another special edition of the rotation for this MC. But we're not going to bring him up right now. This is about Currency. Right? So let's talk about 915. That's an EP all produced by Kino Beats. Some of my favorite joints on there are Doves Cry, Another Benz, and Fuck Is You Doing Part 2. That's only 3 joints. I think it's about 7 to 8 joints on there. Good project. Y'all gotta tap into all 3. Tap into all 3 projects. You will not be disappointed. Make sure y'all check out my playlist. It's a Spotify playlist. It is in the description box right now. So please be sure to tap in. I'm DSP. This is another installment of the rotation. Actually, a special installment of the rotation, because I did an album reviews and artist spotlight on Currency himself. So please be sure to be on the lookout for next week's regular edition of the rotation. It'll be an album review, and be on the lookout for that upcoming episode in October. What happened to Young Money? I'm DSP. This is another special installment of the rotation. Y'all be safe. Peace.